Hello again to my YouTube friends and subscribers, and welcome back to Jay's World Order. Today, we are going to my friend's house. But why? Because this man has a retro collection that you have to see. His collection is
insane.
Let's go. Hey, Jack.
Jay?
What's going on, man?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, remember how I said we were going to film your collection?
No.
Yeah, well, today's that day, man. We scheduled it. You don't remember?
Dude, it's Sunday morning.
Yeah?
I have to take a shower. I have to organize my Star Trek commemorative plates. I have to... Bro, I haven't even eaten breakfast.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm here now, and...
You crazy son of a...
Hey, guys, I'm here with my buddy Jack Maverick.
Hello.
So, I've known Jack here now for a few years, and I've been to his home now a few times, and I've seen this crazy collection that you guys just took a peek at. So, I just want to ask you, Jack, just a few questions about your collection and how you started. Going back to childhood, what are some of your most fondest memories of toys, video games, or, just anything nostalgic related that has captivated you to keep maintaining a collection like this through the years?
How depressing do you want to get?
Let's get depressing.
Okay. I didn't have a dad growing up, and I had a single mom. And was bullied a lot as a kid. Fit in, get along, hang out with the other kids was like video games, baseball cards, computer games. And so it really attached a lot of like my personality and my identity to that stuff. And growing up with a single parent in upstate New York, not a lot of money to go around. And so every time I got a new game or saw a new game or heard of a new game or saw one in a Nintendo Power Game Pro magazine, I was like, God, if I could just get that game, my life would be better. People would finally like me.
Similar thoughts like that when I was a kid, when I was getting bullied as well.
Yeah, you're
getting
just
a
like,
certain toy,
like,
certain action figure, but your friends would all start coming over and play with you because, oh, you got the new Sega Genesis. I want the Sega Genesis. Well, I want to pretend to be friends with you just so I could play Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and it's like, dude.
This is Pickles.
This is Mr. Pickles.
How you doing, Pickles?
Get lost. If I could get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game on the original NES, I would be like the coolest kid in town. I think as you get older and you develop the means and the resources, you're just like, this is what I always wanted. This is what always was. I felt like was going to make me feel complete.
Right.
And so you buy it, and then you get it, and you feel good for like 20 or 30 minutes, and then you're like, all right, man, what's next?
The things you own end up owning you, and there might be a materialistic connection to those things, but when you have adult money and you're able to spend that adult money on things that you wanted when you were a child, I think there's a sense of satisfaction, and it brings me a sense of joy. But maybe there's something that you're trying to add, a missing piece of your childhood that you want to relive again.
In the 1800s, nostalgia was seen as like a disease, like akin to like depression or dementia, right?
Okay.
It was diagnosed as such. I guess it was like people who went out to war, they would come home and just be like really nostalgic for the way their life was before they went through all that trauma, right? And so people treated it like a mental illness, but it is. There's this almost magical thinking quality where it's like, if I get this thing I wanted as a kid, it will somehow change the past. It will somehow fix something inside me. It will somehow make this thing better and give me another shot at it. And it doesn't actually, but when you hold that item in your hand and you see that thing, that coveted item that you've always wanted, or that thing you saw in a magazine, and that's close enough to get a little bit of dopamine, a little bit of serotonin.
What do you think that is? You said maybe it is a mental disease or maybe a mental disruption of some sort, but don't you feel that connecting to youth keeps you young?
I think it keeps you young. I also think it keeps you rooted in your trauma.
Oh, I know where this is coming from. I did start collecting in 2017 because of my girlfriend getting diagnosed with cancer and then passing away. So that was, I guess, a distraction for me, because I bought her a Nintendo Wii when we were together for Christmas, and then after she passed away, I was like, oh, I got to get rid of the Wii. And I got rid of the Wii, but I ended up getting a PlayStation 2 in the process, and then it just tidal waved from there the last few years. But yes, I can agree with you. Collecting was a distraction from the grief.
Yeah, 100%. It's a way to get something positive out of negative traumatic experiences.
Amazing PC collection. Now you have, what is this, about 3-4 decades of PC games we're looking at here?
Yeah, easy. I got stuff that dates back to the beginning of computer games.
Wow. So what's some of your oldest stuff you got going on?
Probably it's going to be like the stuff that's in the folders.
Oh, wow.
So like this has some of the first ever games. Adventure, Eliza Life, Pong, right?
Oh, wow.
Got some Commodore 64,
Yeah.
and of course, early, Apple II and the Adventure Construction set. These are probably some of the oldest stuff that I have.
Okay.
I have stuff that dates all the way till today, where Roberta Williams just released this re-release of Colossal Cave.
Beautiful.
Comes with a
Oh, that's awesome.
Kenacell, because it's Ken Williams, her husband.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
They re-released all this stuff, put a bunch of junk on here, and one of the games that got me into PC gaming
that's
in the
what got
first
me.
place.
I played it on PC when I was a kid too. Wolfenstein 3D came out on PC first, and then after that came out on SNES.
It did, yeah.
And it just was so lackluster on the SNES compared to the PC. Even though I still played the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't the same experience.
I mean, this.
Oh, well, that's. I mean, I played Doom.
If
1 with the cheats on immediately.
Immediately. if Wolfenstein got me interested in PC gaming, this made me want to buy a PC.
This was the first. So if you had to say, staring at this wall, what would be like your top 1, 2, 3 PC games of all time that you still can play over and over again?
So my game that I got obsessed with when I was in high school was Wing Commander 3, Heart of the Tiger.
Is that with Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell, John Rhys-Davies,
Yeah, it's a hell of a
Biff from Back to the Future.
That's right.
I mean, Ginger Lynn from adult movies.
Okay.
This was my game. I even had this like written on my backpack in high school.
Okay.
So you can understand how cool I was. course, I'm going to have to say I spent so much time
Mech Warrior 2.
with Mech Warrior 2.
Yeah.
If you look on the collection here, we got the expansion, we got the Mercenaries, which is kind of a spin-off, the Net Mech. This whole collection was it for me. 3 has to be Daggerfall.
I'm not familiar with Daggerfall.
So Daggerfall is Elder Scrolls Chapter 2, so it's it's in the Skyrim.
Okay.
It's cool. It's a first-person game, and to me, it looked like Doom, right? Like,
wow.
Like, that's what it looked like to me. And all my friends thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. This still has one of the largest game worlds of all time. It's like a whole continent.
Oh, wow.
The problem with it is a Bethesda game, so it's buggy as hell.
Yeah.
This is before online patches, so I didn't know that. I just thought it was broken forever, and so I didn't get very far in it.
Yeah.
But I love the case. I read the book, the manual that's in here
Right
on the toilet like every day.
See, you have a game that I recall seeing when I used to go to the Trump Hotel casinos in Atlantic City as a kid. So does this game teach you how to open up 3 hotel casinos and cannibalize and bankrupt them in under 5 years?
Yeah, it's a really unique simulator game where it actually starts you off winning, like you're actually like profitable, and all of your casinos are doing great, and then you have to make a series of decisions that bankrupt the entire enterprise.
But in all sincerity here, Jack, I do have fond, good memories of going to these Trump hotels as a kid. And I do remember the arcade in the Trump Castle. And that was the game where I discovered Final Fight,
Sick.
Aliens, the movie Aliens, and Narc. In that,
Narc's amazing.
Yeah, in that arcade alone, I have to say Trump hotels had the best arcades. This is personally, in the early 90s, one of my favorite games. I played it on the SNES. I never played it on the PC. I'm not even sure how different it is from
So first of all, it's the highest rated game ever. Nothing's ever come close before or after. This is 1,000% on Rotten Tomatoes. And,
oh, wow.
I just was wondering,
well deserved.
If you love this game so much, which of the 4 polygons that the characters were made out of were your favorite?
I love the car in the beginning.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I love the car in the beginning. I love the scene where he's swinging from the cage and it drops on one of the mercenaries or the foot soldiers, whatever you call them. I love just the graphic polygon simulation of shooting the gun and setting up like the defense, the shield in front of you. That was I just love the whole gameplay of it. It was really the most cinematic game for me at the time in 1992 that I just didn't really experience yet at that time. So I have such fond memories out of this.
Forces you to play at its pace versus how you want to play it.
And that's why I sucked at it at first until I realized, no, I have to play with the game.
You got to play with it.
I was playing against it for too long.
It's so good, and it looks so cool. It's aesthetically just gorgeous.
And then when I finally beat the game, it was a celebratory moment. I adore this game with a passion.
But you asked what the differences are between this and like the SNES version. It's going to be resolution and frame rate.
Yeah.
Right? It's very similar. Your cutscenes are better on here.
Right.
Everything looks a little better. I think the controls on the SNES are better.
Sure.
Just keyboard controls for a game like this.
They're a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah. But Jack, you have just an insane VHS tape collection here, man. Do you know the period of how long it has taken you to accumulate all of these VHS tapes?
I do, actually. I know exactly the day it started.
Really?
Yeah. So, I was on TikTok, and I was like, I wonder what it would take for me to get my account banned. So I started live streaming The Lion King, because Disney's notoriously litigious, right?
Okay.
And I made it through the whole movie, and about 15 people watched the whole thing with me. And I was like, that's really cool. It helped me fall asleep, but not feel like alone at night.
Right.
And so I did it the next night with, I think, batteries not included.
Oh, one of my favorites, yeah.
And like 20 people showed up, right? And then I did it the next night. I think I did fried green tomatoes. Like, I was just trying to see what would work, right? And like 30, 45 people showed up. And suddenly I had this little community that was coming back every night. We formed a Discord. And so most of these tapes were sent to me by the people who watch my live streams on TikTok.
Oh, wow.
And so that started in March of 2021. I would say I started getting the tapes in April of 2021, and they would send me boxes.
Yeah.
Just they would go to the thrift store. They would send me their old collections from growing up, and they would just.
Can people find you right now on Discord or?
Yeah. So on TikTok, it's Slumber Party 1994.
Okay.
And there's a link to the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you have a top 10?
I'll give you top 10 that I like a lot, right?
Okay.
It might change tomorrow, right?
Sure.
Hackers. Lost Boys, baby. This is Funny Ha Ha, which is the first ever mumblecore movie. And mumblecore was a movement where people would just like get digital camcorders and film movies. And it kind of defines the style of like the 2010s, 2012s. As you know, I run the Slumber Party group on TikTok. This is Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's sleepover party. Happy Halloween. Mm-hmm. This belongs on VHS.
Yeah,
don't watch it on anything else. Yeah. If you stream this, you're an idiot. Princess Mononoke on VHS, released by Miramax. Okay. It's a Studio Ghibli film. Every cool girl that I knew growing up, this was like one of their favorite movies. What's up? Zetus Lapidus. It's Xenon. It's girl of the 31st century?
21st century?
Whatever, dude. This movie's insane.
What the hell is this about?
It's a Disney Channel original film about just like a brat in a space station. It's got Raven Simone in it. I don't know what's going on. This movie's hilarious. Do you like Phil Collins?
I do.
This is a great guy.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. This is
yeah. I'm also a big Huey Lewis fan.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah, big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
Anyway, I gotta go return.
Why is there paper? Why is there newspaper on the floor here, Jack?
Army of Darkness, starring Bruce Campbell. This is the screener copy that they sent to video stores.
Unopened.
Not for sale. It's open.
Oh, it is open? Oh, okay.
But it has the original cellophane, so it's worth another $7,000.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's the first movie I ever streamed on TikTok. My little sister watched this movie till she was broken in the brain. I could still quote it word for word. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. The last true animated Disney classic, The Princess and the Frog. Now this version was never released on VHS. This is a custom job I made myself because I wanted all of the animated Disney films on VHS, and so I made this myself.
So, how'd you get this TV set up here, rocking and rolling?
So I spent a lot of time Googling and deep searching and like asking old technomancer wizards of the forums from the 2000s, and I figured out how to broadcast over the old TV airwaves using a thing called an Agile processor made by a company called Blonder Tongue. Essentially, it's a piece of equipment that was used by, here, I'll show you, like hotels and schools and etc. to like broadcast their own channel. But, so it was designed so you push it through a coax cable, but because it was so powerful, because it had to go through a whole school or a whole hospital, you could actually just plug an antenna in to the output, and it will broadcast whatever you're streaming over whatever channel you set.
Awesome.
Figuring this stuff out, there's no documentation on it. It's very much trial and error.
Apple II.
Yep.
Here. And what are we looking at over here, PC-wise?
This is an Apple IIc Plus, so it's just an Apple II that's smaller. Mm-hmm. This is a Dell Pentium 3, I think. Okay. Got a Model M keyboard, got the Microsoft IntelliMouse. Next to it is a Dell Pentium MMX. Or, sorry, Gateway 2000 Pentium MMX. And I got them running. I got them working.
Yeah, you do.
And that's a Sony Trinitron 19-inch gold standard.
Right on. Jack, what's this clear television you got going on over here?
That's from prison.
That's from a prison?
Yeah.
What prison is that from?
One of the Maricopa County prisons.
Oh my lord! And how did you get this?
Man, I think I got that off of OfferUp, off of the former convict.
I love Nagel paintings since the 1980s. You have a crazy amount of them. I only have one. I have one Nagel hanging up. It's a very small one in my place. But what is your attraction to the Nagel paintings?
I have the largest Nagel collection in Arizona. There's a closet in my spare room that's full of, I want to say 70 or 80 Nagels. I love them. I think they're aesthetic. I think they're super cool. I think he was a talented artist. I like the story behind him as an artist. And I like that they were at one point worthless. And now
they have some value to
they have
them.
some value.
Yeah.
And I just love the way they look. I had a couple up in my old restaurant that I used to own. And people just connect with them right away.
Absolutely. It's nostalgic. Well, Jack, thank you so much, man. This was great. Thank you for inviting me into your home once again.
I didn't. You barged in. I was asleep.
Well, thanks anyway.
Sure. Get out.